Disaster. That is the only word that fits what we just witnessed unfold in Congress, because Kristi Noem continues to prove she is easily one of the most ignorant, arrogant, and utterly incapable members of Donald Trump's cabinet. And that's saying something considering how fierce the competition is for that title. Noem completely fell apart, shouting at Democrats, losing her composure, and melting down so badly that the entire hearing had to be paused when a protester stepped in and gave Kristi Noem exactly what she had coming. We're going to break down all of it because there is a lot to cover. But before we dive into every moment, including the protester who halted the hearing, I want to start with some classic brutal questioning of Kristi Noem and her total inability to answer for herself.
Madam Secretary, how many United States military veterans have you deported?
Sir, we have not deported U.S. citizens or military veterans.
I don't believe you served in the military. I haven't either, but I think you and I can agree that as Americans, we owe everything to those who have served our country in uniform, particularly those who have served in combat. Do you agree with that?
Sir, I believe that people that are in this United States that are citizens have legal status here.
Madam Secretary, we are joined on Zoom by a gentleman named Se-Jun Park. He is a United States Army combat veteran who was shot twice while serving our country in Panama in 1989. Like many veterans, he struggled with PTSD and substance abuse after his service. He was arrested in the 1990s for some minor drug offenses, nothing serious. He never hurt anyone besides himself, and he's been clean and sober for 14 years. He is a combat veteran, a Purple Heart recipient. He has sacrificed more for this country than most people ever have. Earlier this year, you deported him to Korea, a country he hasn't lived in since he was 7 years old. Will you join me in thanking Mr. Park for his service to our country?
Sir, I'm grateful for every single person that has served our country and follows our laws.
Can you please tell Mr. Park why you deported him?
Every one of them needs to be enforced.
But you understand that many veterans struggle with PTSD, many veterans struggle with substance abuse challenges. This man took 2 bullets for our country. You have broad authority, by the way, as Secretary, to issue humanitarian parole, to do deferred action. Will you commit to at least looking at Mr. Park's case to see if you can help him find a pathway back to this country that he sacrificed so much for?
I will absolutely look at his case, but I want you to remember that
Madam Secretary, the man behind you, please stand up, sir. His name is Jim Brown from Troy, Missouri. He is a Navy combat veteran who served our country in the Gulf War. He's married to a woman named Donna, who came to our country legally from Ireland when she was 11 years old. She has lived here for 48 years. Because of you, Jim's wife, Donna, has been in prison for the last 4 months. She did not come here illegally, and she has never committed any crime other than writing 2 bad checks totaling $80 10 years ago. She is currently in prison and facing deportation. Ms. Noem, will you thank Mr. Brown for his service to our country?
Thank you, Mr. Brown, for your service to our country.
Now, what possible explanation can there be for locking up his wife for 4 months when she has committed no crime other than writing a couple of bad checks for $80?
Sir, it is not my prerogative, my latitude, or my job to pick and choose which laws in this country get enforced.
You have broad discretion as the Secretary. You can issue parole, you can do all kinds of things, but you're choosing not to. Will you commit, again, to just reviewing Donna's case and reuniting this combat veteran with his beloved wife, who also loves this country?
I will review the case.
Christine is simply terrible at this. It's honestly fascinating that Donald Trump built his cabinet mostly by picking whoever he thought would look good on Fox News, without bothering to consider whether any of them might actually be competent at their actual jobs. But of course, why would Donald Trump ever do that? He didn't even think to choose people who could hold their own in a congressional hearing. And Kristi Noem is the perfect example of that failure, completely unable to handle basic questioning. And it's not just Democrats exposing her. She falls apart just as easily the moment a protester confronts her.
Honored today to have my family with me. I'd like to introduce them to you.
Disruptions of congressional business is a violation of law, is a criminal offense under federal law. Audience members are advised to take their seats and maintain order. The chairman may now ask Capitol Police to remove and arrest the persons creating...
Kristi Noem deserves to be met with protests everywhere she goes for the rest of her life. Every single day, people should be calling out her cruel, disgusting, and blatantly illegal deportation agenda. They absolutely should. She doesn't get to ride around on private jets paid for with our tax dollars and pretend she's some kind of tough warrior. It's not going to fly, Kristi. She will be protested forever. That's her future. She is not the next face of MAGA, no matter what fantasy she's convinced herself of. No, she's just going to keep getting confronted and torn apart by protesters who will call her out directly day after day. And things only spiraled further for her as Democrats piled on as well.
You agree that asylum is a lawful pathway to immigrate to this country, yes or no?
There's an asylum program, yes, in place.
All right, so immigrants then with ongoing asylum applications are legally in this country, correct?
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Your question was?
Immigrants with ongoing asylum applications are legally in this country.
There are individuals in this country that have applications that...
And they are legally here because it's a lawful pathway, right?
It's a lawful pathway.
Okay, so if your department then deports anyone with an ongoing asylum application, you are violating the law, correct?
Joe Biden left us with...
I'm not asking about Joe Biden. I'm asking you a specific question. If your department deports anyone with an ongoing asylum application, you are violating the law. Is that correct?
It was greatly violated when they allowed...
I'm asking you.
People to come
I'm asking you.
Asylum applications.
Why are you filibustering? Why can't you answer the question? It's a simple question.
Your president,
if your department deports anyone with an ongoing asylum application, you are violating the law. Isn't that correct?
The asylum program was broken under the last...
Mr. Chairman, I will reclaim my time. She's not answering the question. But the obvious answer is that, yes, if you follow a lawful pathway, asylum is a lawful pathway. If you have an open asylum case, you are here lawfully. But the problem that we are seeing around the country is that you are not following the law. Don't tell us to change the law. If you don't like the asylum system, you change the asylum law. Bring it to us. We'll work with you. I think it needs to be changed. But you can't just decide that you're not going to follow the law, and asylum is a law, and deport people who have ongoing applications. Unfortunately, that is exactly what's happening. It's happening across the street from my office right in New York City.
The Justice Department said that when the administration was ordered back in March to stop sending detained migrants to a mega prison in El Salvador, you personally made the final call to continue the flights anyway. Is that correct?
And the decisions that are made on deportations, where flights go and when they go, are my decision at the Department of Homeland Security. And we'll continue to do the right thing, continue to work and protect Americans, no matter what radical judge comes out and tries to stop us. We'll do.
You lied on the record, and you lied to members of this committee. You violated court orders by not turning around deportation flights bound for El Salvador, where we know that hundreds of people under your leadership have reported that they were raped, they were beaten, and they nearly died. And your agents used chemical weapons in Chicago despite court orders from District Court Judge Ellis forbidding their use. Secretary Noem, you, Gregory Bovino, and your ICBP and DHS deputized agents have waged an unaccountable, unlawful, unconstitutional war against communities across the nation.
From New Jersey, Ms. MacGyver, for 5 minutes of questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member, for holding this hearing today. The greatest threat to the homeland right now is a Department of Homeland Security that the American people no longer trust, a department actively undermined by its own secretary. This is on you, Secretary Noem. Today's hearing is supposed to be about worldwide threats, but Madam Secretary, under your watch, the threat is coming from inside the building. Because when DHS, the department charged with keeping Americans safe, is caught breaking the law, lying to the American public, systematically dismantling oversight, fueling bigotry, and targeting vulnerable communities, trust is broken.
Donald Trump entered this administration not to keep anyone safe, but to produce big, flashy deportation numbers he could brag about because that's the only thing he understands. He doesn't grasp real policy. This was never about immigration. It was always about fear, cruelty, and a PR spectacle for the right. And despite Noem dedicating her entire existence to PR, she still hasn't delivered. So she's now on the chopping block, and nothing that happened today helped her case. She embarrassed herself again. She embarrassed all of us. Huge credit to the Democrats who ripped apart this administration's grotesque policies. We'll keep doing the same. And if you want to support that work, even when we're on the road and the setup isn't perfect in a hotel room, you can hit that subscribe button and leave a like. If you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I will see you soon.